Good late morning to you. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by CenturyNext Bank, the exclusive banking partner of the Digital Weather Desk. Visit cnext.bank for more. Pretty quiet day underway across the region. Of course, your area forecasts are at the bottom of the screen, and we'll take a kind of an abbreviated look at the forecast at midday. There's not a whole lot to cover. The one thing I really kind of wanted to focus on briefly is timing out the cold front that will approach the area this weekend and into early next week, and what it means in terms of temperatures. That's the big weather headline, and if you missed this morning, again, that's what we've been really kind of harping on for the last couple of days. Here's a check of the visible satellite. Not a whole lot going on. We did have some low clouds and some patchy fog this morning in the southern parishes and counties. Most of that mixed out rather efficiently, but in the far southern reaches of the coverage area, we are still seeing a few afternoon clouds. The rest of us, it's full sunshine. Your radar products are made possible, as always, by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com today. No rainfall across the region, and again, I'm not even going to really show you a whole lot of rain products because it's generally pointless. We do have rain chances back in to a certain degree this weekend with the series of weak fronts and troughs that'll move through, but really it's the boundary Saturday night, Saturday afternoon that drives the best rain chances, and at this point, even those look very spotty and very light. So again, if you're looking for widespread rain, I don't have a lot of good news for you. We will get a new drought monitor tomorrow. Those come out every Thursday morning, so we will have one of those tomorrow, but obviously nothing changed as of late. Temperatures across the region are generally in the upper 60s to low 70s, some mid to upper 70s along the coastline, and here locally 71 in Monroe, 70 in El Dorado. Again, this is shortly before noon, so if you're watching this video after the fact, obviously the timestamp there is in the middle of the screen, but this is shortly before lunchtime, and most of us are easily to near 70 degrees or at least into the low end of the 70s, and on our way for afternoon highs probably in the upper 70s. Winds a bit breezy at times out of the southwest, generally in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range, but we've seen some higher sustained winds at times through the course of the day, and I would expect that to kind of be the trend again. As high pressure relaxes and moves off to the east, it allows for those southwesterly and southerly winds, and again, they could be a smidge breezy at times. Speaking of winds, the southerly winds still driving the warming trend. Those winds become light tonight as low temperatures generally fall back into the 50s. Again, they'll vary depending on location. Mid to upper 70s, I would still expect the 80-degree mark to be a possibility in some spots tomorrow, as again, you can see the winds are back out of the south. And then we have a weak front that approaches tomorrow that kind of washes out to our north. And then there's another boundary. You can kind of see where the winds are out of the south ahead of the front, and then as you move into the Ozarks and stretching through portions of Oklahoma, they're out of the north. There's another boundary that kind of teases the area on Friday. We'll still see low 80s for highs because that boundary probably doesn't make its way through the area, or at least it doesn't make that much of a difference. Saturday, still warm because the cold front arrives during the afternoon. You can see the stronger, bolder northwesterly and northerly winds along the boundary as it moves through the region on Saturday, but it arrives too late in the day to really bring any kind of cool down, so we'll probably land in the low 80s in many spots for highs on Saturday. Cooler air starts to move in on Sunday, but it's not really fully moved and entrenched into the region by that point. Morning lows sneak back into the 30s by Monday. A lot of areas may struggle to only get into the mid-50s on Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday morning revisiting perhaps close to the freezing mark. It also is going to really truly depend on how quickly you can see those warm southwesterly winds return by Tuesday morning. It's really a matter of how quickly those return across the region. If winds stay light, calm, and maybe even have a little bit of a northerly component through the day on Tuesday, or at least through the nighttime hours into Tuesday morning, the freezing mark would be a little bit more of a possibility. Clearly, we're talking about Tuesday, and it's Wednesday. A lot can change between now and then. So again, we're kind of grasping at straws for stuff to talk about. And speaking of grasping at straws at stuff to talk about, I showed you the airport delays this morning just because we can, and it's information that I can provide to you. And while it is not impactful right now, I just wanted to show it to you and go, hey, it's here. And if there's something you need to know about that as we get deeper into the travel season, it's there. Also, on that note, river and some river levels and some local lake levels as well. And just checking some of those river levels as you move over towards Thatcher Lock and Dam. Again, we're obviously nowhere near action stage. We're not even talking about a lot of these spots are running quite low. In fact, as you move to the Ouachita River in Monroe, the river's only at about 18 and a quarter feet at this point. The Mississippi River, kind of the same general story. It is quite low in Vicksburg at just shy of 8 feet. Should crest at about 8.5 feet this weekend. But again, as I show you these, I'm just showing you them, A, because I can, and B, just as a reminder that as we get into the fall months and the heavier rain becomes more frequent, we'll keep an eye on these a little bit more frequently as well. And if they become an issue, we'll let you know. Daytime highs today, upper into the 70s. Lots of sunshine, maybe a few occasional clouds, especially in the southern counties and parishes. Winds will stay out of the south and southwest. Overnight lows tonight. And I say overnight lows, and I actually got a message from a viewer named Chris that sent me a very detailed message, and it was very well thought out, and I appreciated it. And I wanted to at least bring mention to it. As you look at tonight's low, tonight, a lot of people think tonight, what's happening tonight, but they don't think about early morning. When we're setting low temperatures for the day like this, I try to make mention that they are going to be, and I phrase them as overnight lows or morning lows, because in some instances you hit your low temperature at midnight the next night. But in 98% of our cases, low temperatures are met for the day right before sunrise. So really your low temperature for the day is a morning low. It's not a nighttime low. So again, this would be a low temperature 52 that I have listed here is something that we're expecting to land at sometime Thursday morning. So it's really not a Wednesday low. It's a Thursday low. Most folks catch on to that, but it gets really confusing, especially when you list it on things like an app, which is available on the Apple and Android devices. So you look at the low temperature there, and it is advertised as the Wednesday night low, when it's actually, again, a Thursday morning low. And it's always really tough on how to phrase and verbalize that to where folks don't get confused. Again, most low temperatures are hit during the morning hours, but say you have a really strong cold front, for instance, Sunday morning's low will be in the mid-50s. A cold front will continue to move through, and colder air will move through the region. So we may actually get colder Sunday night, and we may drop to 48, 49 degrees. So the actual low temperature for Sunday may actually be 48 or 49, but it wouldn't be a morning low. These are morning lows. It gets really, really complicated during the wintertime months. But I wanted to draw attention to that, and it was a like I said, a well thought out message, and they worded it so nicely, and I just, like I said, wanted to bring mention to it. Do most of you care? Probably not, but it was something important. I appreciated the message, and I thought it was something important to relay to you guys, that this stuff listed here is morning low temperatures. I usually try, if we're on one of those weird scenarios where it's going to be a late night low, I usually try to say, hey, we're looking at midnight low temperatures tonight, which means the low for the day will be met at midnight the next night. But sometimes I forget to reference it, because a lot of times it's in the wake of a cold front where things have gone crazy. All right, that does it for the midday stream. I spent 3 minutes trying to explain overnight lows. I hope that made more sense. Of course, I talked about dew and frost last night. You could check that out as well. We'll have another look at the forecast later this evening. I'm about to do a full refresh to the forecast here in the next hour or so. So if you're looking at the numbers and you're going, he's tweaked things a little bit, but I don't see any. I'm going to do a full refresh to the forecast here in the next hour or two. I'll have that for you this evening. Of course, it'll be available on the app once it's completed, so just check that out as well. You can always check the latest forecast as well at digitalweatherdesk.com. We'll have your fish and game forecast later this evening as well. Got a lot of stuff going on, even though it's really quiet outside. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Go outside and eat lunch somewhere. It's a beautiful afternoon. We'll get a little bit warm later today. Thanks for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. As always, I'm so glad you're here. Have a great day.